morning, traders. Welcome back to the Trader Bacon Show. Happy Monday. I am your host, it's Adam. And first and foremost, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas or whatever festivity you are celebrating this time of year. Obviously, we are all Christmased out here with our lights, our music. I was going to get a Santa hat, but I didn't get it in time, unfortunately. So my apologies on that. But I'm super excited to have the second to last show of 2024. We've got some exciting stuff for you today, and we'll wrap everything up in a couple of weeks, and I'll get to that here in just a few minutes. But first and foremost, a couple of things. Want to remind everybody, well, first and foremost, congratulations to last week's winners of the evaluations. We have Dianelle, James, and Ray. My apologies if I've mispronounced anything, but congratulations. You guys should already have the information in your inbox with how to get that set up. We will be giving away some free evaluations today as well. So make sure to fill out the form that's right there in the chat. And as we sort of round out the year, a lot of people talk about trading in December. December is a kind of an interesting and unique month. Not to mention we're sitting at all-time highs. I think we're going to have a little bit of fun and some hopefully meaningful conversations about that today. Couple little things here. First and foremost, I want to, for everybody that has been getting payouts from Apex, over $370 million paid out to traders, an insane amount of money when you look at what the rest of the entire industry is doing. It is just so exciting to see that number continue to move forward as we go. Also, big holiday special ends tomorrow, 80% off any size evaluation. And so make sure to jump in and take advantage of that. That ends tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. Use promo code Benzinga always so you get the best price available. And that's going to be 80% off right now. So anyway, I want to introduce today, we've got an exciting guest. Today is Les. Les is an experienced trader. He has been trading since 2019. Started off with some low floats, options, and now he's trading futures. He started trading with Apex in May of 2023, and he got his first payout. And I want to share this as meaningful information for you guys. Got his first payout in July of 2024. So if you're still in the fight, if you're still plugging along and you haven't quite hit it yet, look, this happens different for everybody. For those of you who've been watching me for a while, it's taken me for sure a lot longer than that. But as long as the fight is still in you, the opportunity is still there. Now, what he's done since then is super exciting. Since July of 2024, so just less than 6 months now, he's taken out over $70,000 in payouts from Apex Trader Funding, over $14,000 just in the month of December, and here we are barely at the 16th. So the opportunity is there as long as you continue to pursue, which is why we do this show. We want to keep you guys excited and show you different opportunities and ways of getting that done. Couple other cool things about Les. Les is actually a comic book guy, I guess, a graphic novel, I think is the proper terminology. But Les actually published a Game of Thrones comic book prior to actually the series being aired on HBO. He published a Wheel of Time comic before it was a hit on Amazon, and he's working on another project right now. Can't talk about it yet, but I definitely encourage you guys to look out for some information on that. I will do my best to promote that out as soon as I have some information, but definitely keep an eye out for that. So without any further ado, let's welcome for the second to last episode of 2024, Les on today's Trader Bacon Show. Welcome to the Trader Bacon Show, where we showcase everyday traders that are getting funded, paid, and bringing home the bacon. Are you ready? Because the Trader Bacon Show starts right now. Les, good morning, man.
Hey, how's it going, Gates?
I am doing fantastic. How are you today? Uh-oh.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, turn that ringer off, man.
Oh, yeah, that's going off right now.
Awesome. Have not had that one happen yet on a show. Thanks for being the first. How's everything going, man? You've had a pretty kick in December. I know that there have been some challenges along the way that you and I have talked about, but yeah. I mean, clearly this year has really turned into kind of a big pivot year for you in your world of trading, hadn't it?
Oh yeah, everything clicked. It definitely clicked this year. So I can't complain. Like since July, I've been pulling money out of Apex. and I feel my trading's only getting better. So definitely, it's been a great year.
So let's go back to the beginning. I mean, you got into trading in 2019. What was the big push for you to move into this space? It's not a space that everybody goes into. What was it for you?
Uh, I was scrolling YouTube and I landed on a video, Ricky Gutierrez,
Wow.
where he basically wanted to show the comparison between day trading and a regular job.
Mhm,
So he got someone who was, I don't know if which company they were working for. It was a delivery service, delivering
mhm,
food and other packages. And every time they did something, they would basically show how much they made,
mhm,
right? And then Ricky was like, he took a trade, $500. This guy delivered a package, $20. And at
mhm.
the end of the day, Ricky had like $2,000, and this guy finished the day off with about $85. And I was like, you know what? Because before that, pretty much everyone was telling me trading is gambling. And basically, trading is like long term. You put your money in, and 40 years later, like you'll make a profit. So I basically started looking into it. I'm the type of person, if I'm going to get into anything, I got to do my research. And I realized day trading was a thing. So I basically got in and started trading low floats.
Mhm. Now, look, it's been 5 years since you started, and we know the level of success that you've had already this year. But what about those 5 years in between? What were those like for you? Did you have some ups and downs? Was it a constant struggle? What did that journey look like?
First few years were up and down, but
Mhm,
so there's this the way trading tricks people. So when you get in, usually your first few trades, few weeks, maybe a couple months, you'll win it. You'll win it. So I started off like I think my first month I made like $2,000,
mhm.
and I basically told myself, "Oh my God, this is easy." And I went the next I don't know 4, 5, 6 months just bleeding, bleeding money, just losing. I couldn't like I'd be following someone online taking the same exact trade that they're taking. They're making money. I'm losing money. I'm like, how is this even possible? Um, so there was a lot of ups and downs. Then I ended up leaving low floats and I ended up going into options.
Mhm.
And it took me a while to learn the options, but I think on it was October 22, right?
Mhm.
2022. I had my best run. I had funded Thinkorswim with $6,000,
Mhm.
and I basically was scalping at the bell in the morning. Within
Mhm.
3 weeks, that $6,000 turned into $70,000.
Wow. Okay.
So, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I got this down. I know how to win at this game now. So I basically took $70,000 and shorted Moderna.
Mhm.
And it was a week playing weekly options. I think there was 2 days left. It was on a Wednesday. I shorted it. Woke up the following day, looking at the news, and there's the Moderna CEO saying he's not too confident in the new vaccine coming out.
Mhm.
And I go and check my account. My 70,000 is now $11,000.
Ouch. Look, this is not a unique story, and I talk about this, and look, it's been 5 years. You've been giving this, you've been putting in the fight, right? And you've had some wild upswings. I mean, 6,000 to 70 grand is no small task. Look, I mean, that's the beauty and the leverage of options. That's why a lot of people love options. But then the downswings tend to be just as aggressive and potentially violent. So, what kept you in the game? What kept you going for all of this time until you could get to the point where you had this level of consistency?
Just seeing other people have success
Hmm.
and also having experienced success.
Yeah.
Um, So I knew if I could basically hone my skills and get good at this, like no other job or industry is gonna pay as well as trading. Like
Right.
definitely not. Within minutes, I could make what someone makes in a couple weeks.
Sure.
Um, so I kept at it. I had success, but I wasn't really committed because I had other stuff going on. So I
Sure.
would trade on my free time, and I'd probably say 2024, 2023 was when I said, you know what, I'm gonna go back to the drawing board. I'm gonna learn, and I'm gonna get better. And then my wife's cousin, his name is Jonathan.
Mhm.
He kept on telling me I need to stop trading options and trade futures.
Okay.
And to me, futures were not flashy. Like you can't make 1,000, 10,000%. And and I basically didn't listen to him. But 2023, I was like, you know what? I'll listen to you and I'll give futures a try. And around the same time, I found out about Apex.
Okay.
And then the thing that drew me to Apex was the fact that you could have 20 accounts, and that made no sense to me. So I did my research on that, and I was like, you know what? I was like, this is it. This is how I'm gonna make my money. Um, so even though I was having success, I was making not great money, but I was making decent money. You could say I was making pulling in maybe 5,000-6,000 a month on options, which is not bad at all considering I
Right.
was spending 30 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Um,
Can't really argue with that.
yeah. And then I basically joined Apex and decided to give it a try.
So you're a leverage guy. You like to trade multiple accounts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's where the appeal often comes into options traders because they love the amount of leverage that they can get. And this is a way to sort of get that at least when you start to look at how the numbers sort of pan out. If you're looking for a $200 or $300 win on 20 accounts, is 4 to 6 grand, which is not unreasonable for the consistent trader who's at that level. So, well, let's talk a little bit about how you're trading. Obviously you've gone through a variety of different instruments and worked through obviously a lot of the bugs. And I find it really interesting because I see this a lot. You hit that first payout, and then all of a sudden it was just gangbusters, and you just took off from there in a way that a lot of us sit there and look at, go, "Wow, man, how did he do that?" So how did you do that? What does a day in the charts look like for you?
So before I answer that question, my first few payouts, um, basically, so I probably say specifically in the month of July,
Mhm.
I got my first payout. So once again, my wife's cousin, he's like, "Hey, stop trying to win on 20 accounts," because basically I would get to maybe 2-3 days
Mhm.
before payout, and something would happen,
Right.
and I would blow up the accounts. And he basically told me, he's like, "Hey, just try doing it on one account, and then maybe that will get something going." So
Right.
I had one single account, and then on that account, I made it. It was a $50,000 account. I was able to
Mhm.
pull out 2,000, and that got my mind working. So from there, I added three more accounts, so I had four accounts. Um, but the thing is, as soon as I pulled my money out, there was only $500 left on the account.
Yep.
And at the time, Apex did not have the rules that they have implemented now with the 30%. So I would blow the accounts right away after pulling my payout.
Right.
Um, and but I was still making money, and I was
Right.
slowly building up my accounts. And then we come to um, when the new rules were put in. When
Mhm.
the new rules were put in, at first I was not too pleased. I wasn't mad. I wasn't too pleased. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm kind of restricted to what I could do because sometimes I was trading 10 contracts.
Mhm.
Uh,
Out
so
of 50.
basically, yeah. So now I basically retooled
Mhm.
my strategy, and I went and started trading 1 to 2 minis,
Mhm.
and basically just scalping 1 to 2 minis, looking for bull flags, bear flags, using the EMAs, and then also using pivot points as
Mhm.
targets, support, and resistance. And
Well, oh, go ahead.
between that and the new rules from Apex, I like my earnings just flew up. So from October to now, I probably made 80% of that 70,000.
I love that. I love that. And again, I think that's just when you start to see the real path, it's not just about grabbing what you can, it's about playing that long game, so to speak. So let's take a look at your charts here. And we're in interesting territory for NQ traders. We're at all-time highs, which we've been basically dancing around with for quite some time now. And this creates a little bit of a challenge for a lot of traders because, I know for me, for example, I look left. I need to see what price action has done at certain areas to have a better understanding, a better gauge of what I'm looking for. And I know a lot of traders trade the same way. So that creates a problem when you're in blue skies. And so you actually have some stuff that you do that we were talking about before the show that sort of helps you gauge where it is that you're going. Now, this is probably not new to a lot of traders. This is pretty new to me. But let's talk a little bit about what that looks like for you.
All right, so this is my Thinkorswim chart.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what I told you earlier? Our target was the pivot point again. So there we go. The pivot point is just an indicator. I use it as is on my Thinkorswim chart, but pretty much every platform has it. I think NinjaTrader has it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But on my NinjaTrader chart, I just like using the EMAs. So I use it here in Thinkorswim. Basically, right here, I drew a flag,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have my 5 EMA, my 9 EMA, my 20 EMA, and my 50.
Okay.
And on the flag, like I'm usually looking for flag breaks. So right here, I would look to get in here, and my
Right.
stop would literally be right underneath the flag. We go right back below the flag, and I'm pretty much out.
Okay.
That's if I'm full size. Full size for me is 5 contracts now. But I recommend anyone who's trading, don't go more than 2 contracts to start. It's easier to manage. With the 2 contracts, you can give yourself a little bit more room to the downside.
Right.
So with right now where we're at, I would not get into this position. The
Right.
reason being is we haven't broken this high yet.
Mm-hmm.
We have a pivot here, and we have room back down to the 5 EMA. So to get in, I'd look for the move down to the EMA, make sure the EMA holds,
Mm-hmm.
and then if it holds as it starts pushing back up, I get in and my stop would literally be right underneath the EMA. But when I'm trading, I have that was a 10-minute chart. I have that up with some other time frames, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
literally trading on the 1-minute chart. Let's see. Let me draw. So I would have my breakout area. So I'd look for us to break and hold above here.
Mm-hmm.
My stop would literally be right underneath
Your swing
here.
point.
So there you go. See? So
There we
right
go.
there, that would have been. Let me see. So with 20 accounts, 2 contracts, that would have easily been over $200 per contract done
Okay.
for the day.
Right. Now, it's great to swing around the word easily when you've been at this for a while. You've had
Yeah.
consistent levels of success. I think we all know that the reality is it takes time, number one, to get the strategy to a point where you're consistently executing, but number two, to the point where you have enough confidence to take it every time you
Yeah.
see it. When all of those sort of ducks start to line up, that's when you start to see those levels of success.
Yep.
Now, I'm presuming this target would have been at that all-time high. At that
What was
previous
that?
pivot, that target would have been at that previous pivot point.
Yeah, see, so now we broke over and we've closed over the pivot point. So I'm expecting the pivot point to be support now. And then you have the 5 EMA right below it. So there's support. So here's a good area to go in to for more move. So I'm only looking for about 24 ticks when I'm
Okay.
trading. So 24 to 28 ticks, which is like $5 because the ATR for NQ on a 5-minute chart, I think the ATR, which is the average true range, is it could be anywhere from $7 to $15, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with the 24 ticks, I'm looking for $6. So I'm under that $7 area. So
Right.
on a push, my target is gonna hit on a push, right? So my target's gonna hit, and that I'm looking for momentum. So right here on the push, I would have gotten in. This one right here, we got a 3-bar play, so I would have gotten the push right here. But this one is a lot trickier. My stop would have been right under this candle. Because if it breaks this candle, good chance we're gonna go back and test this candle right here.
Okay. So with this strategy, it looks like you talk about one and done, but realistically speaking, if you didn't limit yourself, how many opportunities do you see like in a morning session that could be potential trades for you?
Oh geez. Easily 10, 20 trades.
Wow.
But the one thing you got to realize, once you hit your target, get up, walk away, because you don't want to give it back. That's what I did early on. I would hit my target and say, hey, you know what? I want an extra $100. Well, that extra $100 would end up costing me $1,000 that I had made.
Right.
So my thing to new traders or people trying to succeed, number one, not a lot of contracts. Like
Mhm.
even 2 contracts is a lot, right?
Right.
You could trade 1 contract or trade them as micros, so that would
Mhm.
give you 10 contracts, and you could hit $200 with that
Sure.
10 contract. With me, I like to be out early so I could go on with my day. So I'm using 2 to 5 contracts, but I've built enough cushion getting paid through Apex where
Mhm.
it's okay for me to do that. And also, I know what I'm looking for. I know to get out. I know if it's not looking good.
Right.
Every now and then you'll have your technical glitch that's out of your control. When that happens, it happens. But what you can control, if you control it, you'll definitely succeed. So keep your contract small. If you make your profit, walk away and then come back another day and do it again.
And that sage advice, one of the biggest mindset shifts that I've certainly had to take on is live to fight another day. I mean, just because
Yeah,
you had a rough day doesn't mean you got to make it all back up at
yeah,
once. I know this is not news to anybody who's been trading for more than 5 minutes, but it's sometimes easier said than executed properly. And we all have our personal struggles through this process. So
yeah,
it's really great to see how different people manage this process. And I love, hey, have your limit, hit your limit, and be done for the day. Because there is a temptation, especially when you can see that there are 10 potential entries over the course of a morning session, and wanting to take all of them. Hey, if my averages are this, why would I stop?
yeah,
And that can be a very dangerous mindset, as most of us have seen at some point in our trading careers. Now, at this point, obviously, there's been a bit of a shift for you. You've had this bounce. I mean, things have started to really move in your favor. And over the course of the last 6 months, you've made somebody's full-time annual income, and things are starting to move in a different direction for you. Now, at this point, we talked about at the beginning of the episode that you do some stuff with comic books. And so
yeah,
trading isn't your end all be all. This isn't what
yeah.
you do all day, every day. what has this afforded you the opportunity to put your time and energy into now that you really have sort of that baseline buffer financially?
It's definitely given me a lot of flexibility. Certain things that I wanted to pay off have taken care of. I've been able to do that. Also been looking at, so I've been donating a lot of money to different groups around the area, different charities, and I plan on doing a lot more this week and next week for the holiday season.
Nice.
Just giving as much of it back as I can to the less fortunate, because that's how it works. You help the less fortunate, it comes back 100-fold. So I'm definitely looking to ramping up next year. I'm gonna be more proactive.
I love that, and I think that anybody who watches the show consistently, we're starting to see a pattern. There's a mindset of gratitude and giving back, and look, it's not just about how much you take in, but it's about the impact that you can have on the world around you. And I love that mindset. It's not always easy to do, especially for those of us that maybe have struggled for a very long time, and it's like, oh, finally, but finally for you is such a blessing that there's an opportunity to bless others as well, especially when we think about this time of year. And whether that be your foundational principles, whether that just be because of weather issues and things like that. You can tell that to the government, Crow, for sure. But I think when we start to see the consistently successful traders, I'm not surprised by the fact that we see this mindset more and more frequently, because I do think that that's a contributing factor to developing that mindset that says, hey, this is great, but there's more that I can do with it. And I think that does contribute to the long-term success and mindset of successful traders. Listen, we've got to start to wrap this up here. For those of you who have not done so already, make sure to fill out the form for the free evaluations. We're giving away 3. If you haven't done that, take care of that now, and we'll announce those winners in 2 weeks. Next week is Christmas week. I will be traveling, as will many of you, from what I've heard, and I'm not really sure what the markets are going to be doing next week. So we will not have an episode on the week of Christmas, but we will be back for one final episode in 2024 on December 30th. So make sure to come back for that, and let's round this year out right. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. Les, what a pleasure to have an opportunity to sit and chat with you and connect and look at some of the things that are going on with you. And congratulations on your growth and success just in the last few months. I know 2025 is going to be super, super exciting for you. We probably need to do a catch-up episode with some of these, some of the traders that have been on here this year, and just kind of see what the new year brings, because I know it's going to be hot and exciting for a lot of y'all out there. So thanks for joining us today. This is as always, just such a pleasure to share my Monday with all of you out there. Les, thanks so much for your time, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks on the final episode of the Trader Bacon Show for 2024. Thanks for joining the Trader Bacon Show, where we showcase everyday traders that are getting funded, paid, and bringing home the bacon. Make sure to join us next time.